Greetings. That's right. No Trailer Park Boys this time. I've called this a live Halloween horror story. For the Globelings, it's a horror story. It must be absolutely horrific to have a guy in his bedroom destroy their worldview, mainly by showing them what their worldview is. I mean, showing what their worldview is. Just showing them that. It's a bit like if somebody's been eating a shit pie and you show them that it's a shit pie. You've not made it, you know. You've just taken some of the crust up and said, look, smell. Really? So, with that in mind, let me just switch screens with a great transition. Greetings everybody in chat, by the way. Is it this way? Nope, it's this one. Okay. First we're going to listen to this, which is being shown for educational purposes. Where did the Big Bang originate? Going to rewind, start from the start, from here. Okay, so make sure the volume's up. Here we go. Enjoy. It's only short. It's a great fairy story, fairy tale. It's a horror tale, really, when shown like this. But enjoy. Flat Earthers, you will really enjoy this.
The universe is a very weird place for us simple mortals. Our lifespans are just a blink of an eye compared to the age of the universe, and things we expect to be constant, like space and time, behave very differently from what you may initially expect.
When you say space, can we just say distance? Can we say distance and time? Because that works, doesn't it? Can't we just say distance and time? Yeah, we'll say distance and time.
Keep this in mind throughout the video.
So, he's just given a caveat. Space works in ways you don't know about and haven't expected. So bear that in mind with what I'm going to tell you. Here's a story about a tree that would swim at night. Trees don't normally swim at night, but there are some extraordinary trees that do. I'm going to tell you about one of those trees. That's what he's just done. He's just said, I'm going to tell you a crock of shit, but I'm going to tell you first, listen, you might think that things work a certain way. Well, the story I'm going to tell you is about things that don't work that way. So pay attention, but be warned.
To answer the question of where the Big Bang originated, I'm going to have to provide some context.
So, first, before I tell you where, which is a location question, where, you know, picture a matrix, a grid, you know, some Cartesian coordinates. Where did it happen? Well, before I tell you where, I have to tell you some other things first. Okay.
Leading theory regarding the beginning of the universe is the Big Bang theory. And without going into all the complicated details, I'll summarize it like this.
The details aren't very complicated, really, but they like to say that they are. You know, oh, I might do a degree in cosmology. I want to know the details.
About 13.7 billion years ago, everything that is in the universe today was crammed together into a space the effective size of 0.
How do you know? You know, same question as you might ask the religious who tell you what God says. How do you know? Well, we think so, but how do you know? We've worked it out. How have you worked it out? Well, doing very clever things. What clever things? Well, not telling you. Have you got a degree? You wouldn't understand them. It's a crock of... it's nonsense. You'd think, I mean, if the answer was this, it was all hot soup in a minuscule place in space. How do you know? Well, we have telescopes that can look back in time and they see a tiny little place in way back in history. Just there, tiny little place, just expanding. Oh, right, that's curious, but that's not the answer. So let's carry on, but I'm going to rewind, because there's a great point that he makes, which is like, wow, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Listen.
About 13.7 billion years ago, everything that is in the universe today was crammed together into a space the effective size of 0.
The effective size of 0. Not just the size of 0, because people say, well, that's bullshit. No, the effective size of 0. Well, what's that? It's the same as just 0, but we said effective first. Oh, right. That's interesting. When did it happen? Never. Effectively never. Oh, right, okay.
At the very beginning, not even atoms existed. It was just a hot and dense soup of fundamental particles.
Soup. I like soup. You can drink it with a spoon, or you can maybe just pick up if it's a nice lobster bisque, you can just sip it straight from cup. Soup. Yeah, it was just a hot soup. That's what it was. Yeah, just a hot, spicy soup. Yeah, because people know what soup is, right? So there you go. That's what it was.
Since the beginning, the universe has expanded rapidly. As it expanded and cooled, atoms formed and stars were born. Now, the universe's expansion, combined with the constant speed of light, has turned the universe into a time machine.
So, the universe's expansion and the constant speed of light have given us these things that we can make a CGI video, which is now going to use to, propagandize what he's saying, which is CGI based on the data obtained from the Hubble Deep Field. Like, whoa, let's have a look at this.
If we look at any region of space, we don't see galaxies as they are, but as they were.
How do you know? Well, stop asking that, will you? We just do. You see, if we're seeing them as they were, then, well, couldn't we see the entirety of the universe as it was? At the soup stage?
Galaxies we see in the foreground are much more developed, forming the more elegant and defined shapes you see here.
So, the ones that are nearest to us, we can see better. Oh!
That is because we are seeing these galaxies as they were only millions of years ago.
Or because they are nearer in their cosmology, or just because they're clearer to see. That's it. Just that. Just clearer to see.
They've had billions of years to form since the start of the universe, and so they look much more mature and developed. On the other hand, as we look at more and more distant galaxies, these galaxies appear younger.
Oh, but wait a minute. We could look towards where the Big Bang happened, and they might look younger. But if we looked away from the Big Bang, far into the distance away from the Big Bang, so past us, ahead of us, they should be older. Forget that. That doesn't work, so we're not going to say that. Oh.
Galaxies that are billions of light years away appear as they would have shortly after the Big Bang.
See, they could be billions of light years away the other way. Some are behind us, billions of years, they're younger. Some are ahead of us, billions of years, they're older. But no, none of that.
Because the light emitted by them has taken that long to get to us.
Oh.
They look misshapen, and there is a lot of star formation going on within them. But in reality, it's important to remember that these galaxies are just as old as ours.
But in reality, so you just said that, so it must be true. In reality, those galaxies, even though they might be much closer to the source of the Big Bang, and therefore literally younger, in their cosmology, no, they're not younger. They're the same age as ours. That's right.
They no longer occupy the location where we can see them. They are probably much further away now because of the expansion of the universe.
So, you know when people say, when you look up at the stars, isn't it wondrous to think some of those stars might not even be there anymore. We're still seeing them. Well, shouldn't the question be, isn't it amazing that none of those stars are actually there where we're seeing them? They've all moved to somewhere else.
It is also important to realize that there is no center of the universe.
Now this is absolutely brilliant because this straddles two worlds. Truth and cockamamie cosmology.
Or conversely, that everywhere is the center of the universe. Because it doesn't matter where you are, here or a billion light years away, everything is expanding away from you.
Only in an infinite universe. It didn't say that just yet.
Everything is expanding away from everything. Just as a side note though, gravity combats the effects of the universe expanding. That's why superclusters of galaxies exist.
But wait, doesn't dark matter kind of undo what gravity does? Doesn't dark matter push where gravity pulls?
And the universe has a filamentary structure.
Oh, now this is interesting. Filamentary structure. This part is actually true, but they can't really discuss it very much because they don't know how to discuss it. You just heard filamentary. You're hearing the channel, you're watching this on the channel, The Book of the Sun. In The Book of the Sun, I explain how light travels along filaments. It is filaments. The sun is a nexus point of filaments. That's right. And you're hearing it here, and that's because they've actually observed, wait for it, the filaments. They referred to them as plasma tubes way back when. No, filaments.
The gravity from galaxies is attempting to keep clumps of them together, even though the expansion of the universe is all
clumps of these filaments together. That's what filamentary means. It doesn't mean little motes of dust. No, it would mean, if you're going to refer to stars as motes of dusts inside filaments like tubes.
Pulling them apart. What you end up with are filaments with empty bubbles or voids in between.
Filaments, that's right.
They'll only get bigger as the universe expands further. You may have heard of the term the Hubble constant. This is how fast the universe is expanding, currently thought to be around 80,000 kilometers per hour per million light years.
Of course, they haven't got the vaguest idea because they don't know how far any of these things are, like in terms of actual knowing. They don't know how far any of the things are, so they don't know how far any of the things are moving from any of the other things. They don't know what the things themselves are. They really don't. They understand that they're in filaments, but they don't know what the filaments are. They don't know how they function. They don't fully understand. They don't understand at all. But they have to give little tidbits of truth because some of the people who watch this on their actual channel will be people who know the studies, who know the observations, not just the studies. And these aren't observations that result in noughts and zeros. These are observations like the Asian woman who created 2 arrays of radio telescopes and was observing Earth's magnetism through 2 different bandwidths and was seeing that they were tubular. That there was a 3D, like tubes. Well, what's a tube? Well, it's a different way of calling a filament. Oh, so there's truth to what they're saying. They can't quite put it together in their puzzle world, but there is truth, and they have to say some of the truth because some of the people who know the truth might otherwise object, and if they objected and they voiced this objection and they met resistance for objecting, they might become rogue physicists, and they don't want rogue physicists. So, to appease them, they mention some of the truth of this world.
So, for a section of space 1 million light years across, it expands by 80,000 kilometers every hour. A section 100 million light years across would expand by 8 million kilometers every hour.
Whoa.
The current value of Hubble's constant implies that the entire universe is expanding faster than the speed of light, meaning...
Wait, whoa. The universe is expanding faster than the speed of light. I'm pretty sure everybody listening to this already knows that c, that constant, which is the speed of light, is the fastest possible speed. There's no faster than that. I mean, they say maybe when something falls into a black hole, maybe then, but it's questionable because it doesn't have integrity. It doesn't have its own. It's no longer what it was that fell in. It's morphed. It's been morphed by the gravitational pull of the black hole. So it might have been a little pebble, but now it's a big, thin tendril, like a long floppy spaghetti noodle, because it's been pulled by the gravity, so it doesn't really count. Now, you just heard him say, expanding faster than the speed of light. I'm going to go back and play it again.
Kilometers every hour. The current value of Hubble's constant implies that the entire universe is expanding faster than the speed of light, meaning...
Now, if somebody made an implication that you knew was totally wrong, you know, like, your great-great-great-grandfather came and punched my sister in the face. You're implying that your great-great-great-great-grandfather is alive. He's not. He can't be. So, no, he didn't. So, this, it implies, okay, faster than the speed of light. Okay, so here you're just going to drop that whole speed of light thing? You're just going to drop it all together. Oh, okay. You thought things couldn't go faster than the speed of light? Well, now they can.
There's a sphere around us that we will not be able to see beyond.
Oh.
Past this sphere, galaxies are moving away from...
Of course, when they say sphere, they mean circle. Just circle. Just, orient that circle however you choose. Yeah, because obviously you can't see through the ground. So they just imagine that there's people on the other side of the globe Earth who can look in a different direction. We know it's a crock of shit, but they can pretend like it is. Just like they can pretend that light has a speed, that it has a speed that can't be overtaken, but that galaxies can overtake that speed. Yeah, why not?
Faster than the speed of light, meaning light emitted by them can never reach us.
Oh. So,
everything within...
The reason now things can travel faster than the speed of light, including whole galaxies with all those planets in those galaxies, yes, faster than the speed of light. That's right, not just lights. Not just lights. Okay? The galaxies have stars in them. Those stars have planets around them. Those planets that are physical, solid material, some of them at least, those planets that have moons, also physical bodies around them, those things moving faster than the speed of light. That's right. I know you thought it was impossible, but it isn't now. Why? Well, you see, there's this bubble around the Earth that we can't see past, and the reason we can't see past it, but there must be stuff there, and we just can't see it, the reason we can't see it is that it must be moving faster than the speed of light, and therefore its light never reaches us. Oh, really? Is that how it works? That's a very peculiar way of looking at the world, but that's why they now explain, yeah, they move faster than the speed of light. Never mind that. Never mind the equations. No, they move faster than the speed of light because we can't see them, see?
Sphere is the observable universe, another term you've probably heard before. We can't see or detect anything beyond the observable universe, which is why we don't know if the universe is infinite or finite.
But we can postulate that outside of what we can see, there are galaxies that are moving faster than the speed of light. Like he just said, faster.
Even if it is finite, it couldn't have an edge and would have to loop around because, well,
Wait, even if it was finite, it wouldn't have an edge. I'm going to rewind.
The universe is infinite or finite. Even if it is finite, it couldn't have an edge and would have to loop around because, well, the universe is just that, everything that exists. What would be beyond the edge of the universe otherwise?
Huh? That's not a... No. No. What would be beyond, like, just supposing, what would be the beyond this disk-edged universe that he's now postulating, or, positing? Just, let's imagine that the universe was flat and had an edge to it. Well, what would be beyond that edge? The answer to that question might be the same as, well, what's the universe expanding into? But no, can't say that, because, well, then it makes everything that they're saying sound ridiculous. Like they really could just say, we've decided it's flat now, which, by the way, they have done. They've decided it's flat. The universe, flat. That's right. And straight lines that show flatness, the straight lines are really a segment of an infinitely large circle, and therefore all flat straight lines are actually indicators of very, very small amounts of curvature. Flat, but curved.
So, we want to know where the Big Bang originated. Where in the night sky do astronomers look to see where the universe started? Well, the answer is everywhere.
That's right. That's right. You drop a pebble in a pond. You could call the pebble crossing that boundary between the surface tension of the water and the air and, well, the more viscous realm of water. You could call that boundary the start of, well, the water ripples. So you drop a pebble into a pond, and once you've dropped it into the pond and the ripples are expanding out, if you were to be housed in a little leaf, and, whether before or after the gravitational wave, doesn't matter, yeah, you're on a little leaf, you're a Who from Whoville on a little leaf, and that's right, where the pebble plopped into the water is any direction at all that you choose. It's not a real place, no, it's any that you want. That's what they're explaining. Listen, folks, this is why I said this is a horror story for the globe believers. That's right. Because, yeah, I'm editorializing, but I'm not deleting what they're saying. I'm playing what they're saying. And I'm editorializing what they've said. What the guy has just said. I'm going to play it again.
Where in the night sky do astronomers look to see where the universe started? Well, the answer is everywhere. Because the universe always has been the whole universe. It has just changed in size.
That doesn't alter the fact that, according to your cosmology, it has a direction. The expansion is going out from the point where it started. But no, because everywhere is sky, and because the sky is everywhere, so everywhere is sky.
Very small to very big. It doesn't have specific coordinates, because it is an explosion of the coordinate system itself.
Wait. It doesn't have coordinates because it's an explosion of the coordinate system itself. It can't. There can't have been a coordinate system that exploded. In fact, there must have been absolutely no coordinate system whatsoever, so it cannot have been exploded by the Big Bang. Now, The minute the Big Bang exploded, there's a coordinate system. There you go. Every millisecond is an expanding coordinate system, all of which have a point 0, the start of the Big Bang. But no, not according to cosmology. This is called gaslighting, and I'm going to show you a really good example in the next 2 videos, just short little snippets. You will see exactly what I mean. Those of you who already know about gaslighting and narcissists and psychopathic tendencies and behaviors will know what I mean. This is the cosmology of the globe is gaslighting to the people who believe it, by the people who teach it and the people who accept it and believe it.
And this...
Wait, because I'm going to play that again, about the coordinate system.
It doesn't have specific coordinates, because it is an explosion of the coordinate system itself.
That's gaslighting, folks. That's just bullshit, word salad. It's an explosion of the coordinate system itself. What coordinate system? Well, the one that doesn't exist. Well, then why don't you impose it? A coordinate system is an intellectual tool. Why don't you just impose a coordinate system? There you go. Just go ahead. Make it an azimuthal system. Make it start from the Big Bang. No, can't. Why not? Because it's all not true, dude.
And this is what shortly after the Big Bang looked like.
It isn't. That's just what a certain type of observation looks like.
In microwaves. This is what we call cosmic microwave background radiation.
Caused by sound waves.
And you can see it anywhere you look into space. Assuming you have a space telescope that can detect microwaves. Because
microwaves made by sound waves. That's right. Those hot and cold spots we saw in the previous Hangouts with yours truly, they were caused by sound waves. I know you thought space didn't have air, but now you dim. It doesn't stop sound waves being sound waves and making hot and cold spots.
Earth's atmosphere is really good at blocking microwave radiation. 350,000 years after the Big Bang, the universe was hot, around 2,500 degrees Celsius.
That's right, and until that point, it was black. That's right, in the blackness of blackness, there was a great big black flash. In that blackness, it's too hot for light to make its way through. We heard in the previous one.
Even though this heat would have emitted visible light, we can't see it, because the expansion of the universe has stretched the wavelengths of electromagnetic radiation by a factor of 1,000, meaning that...
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Or maybe because you can't see the past. Not like these dim-dims, because they think that time is a human construct and just a thing that you can opt in or out. Go, right, so we look for where's the source of the Big Bang? Can't find it. Right, must be unfindable then. Yep. What could make it unfindable? What about if the light it emitted was no longer light? That's why we wouldn't see it. Instead of, well, dude, because if it emitted light, the light would be way past us. Like, the light would have been ahead of the creation of all the atoms and all the stars and all the ahead of it. Not behind the creation of planets like Earth, but ahead of it.
Photons no longer arrive at Earth as visible light, but rather as microwaves. So, just like seeing...
Let's just go back to see that little graphic.
Meaning the photons no longer arrive at Earth as visible light, but rather as microwaves. So, just like seeing those distant galaxies billions of light years away using visible light, we can see what the universe looked like before galaxies even existed by observing these microwaves.
Yes, because the microwaves, they didn't travel at the speed of light in a direction that would have gone and left us well in its wake. No. And this is not the wake of those microwaves. Even though they tried to say it's a fossilized footprint, That's just a crock of shit. That doesn't happen. But yes, we see this, and therefore it's what we just said it is. We who say can't go faster than the speed of light, does go faster than the speed of light, had a point source beginning, which is everywhere in space. Wow.
This makes this image effectively the oldest thing we have ever seen.
I don't know about that. I've seen some pretty old things. I mean, one time I was walking in a forest. This is really true. I saw a root and I thought, oh, look at that root. And then next to that root, there was a stone. And I tell you, that stone was old.
Fascinatingly, the slight variations in the image are the precursors to the filamentary structure of the universe you've seen earlier in the video.
Mm-hmm. Little bit of truth with a heck of a lot of bullshit.
We are quite lucky in that there are not really any bright sources of microwaves in the universe apart from the cosmic microwave background radiation, which means this view is a relatively uncontaminated view of the universe 350,000 years after the Big Bang.
Oh, that's so lucky that all those microwaves from all of those stars and galaxies in the universe isn't jamming any of that. Phew! I mean, it's a good job, guys. Otherwise, like, if all of those gamma rays, X-rays, and all of those rays coming off all of those stars, all of those waves, I mean, we would just have a grey, or apparently beige, according to cosmologists, universe. The whole of the night sky would be beige. That's right. It would just be beige. And it would all be just radio wave interference. Microwave radio wave interference. That's right. But no, luckily, that's not there. Oh, that's okay.
Can we see beyond that? No, not really.
Not even if we look the other way? I don't think you understand. There's no ways in space. Look, if there's no up in space, there's also no left and right, and up and down, obviously, and no forward and backwards. So all directions are the same direction and none at the same time, see?
That atoms were just becoming a thing, and light couldn't travel through the soup of fundamental particles.
No.
So, the center of the universe is everywhere, and nowhere in particular.
There you go, folks. The epitome of gaslighting. The center of the universe is everywhere, and nowhere in particular.
Look at any part of space with a microwave telescope,
and there it is. That's the beginning of the universe.
And you're effectively looking at shortly after the Big Bang. Like I said, the universe is weird.
He did warn us at the start. He did say, I'm going to tell you a crock of shit. and then, so he just told us a crock of shit.
Thanks again to Squarespace.
Yeah, whatever. Now, we're going to go, that's the end of that. I'm going to pop into the chat in a second, guys. I hope you're enjoying this. Type X if you're enjoying this. Now, just to show you again, gaslighting. He just said the center of the universe is everywhere and nowhere in particular. And one undoes the other. And the other is rendered meaningless by the one. Just back and forth bullshit. Everywhere and nowhere at the same time. That's the beginning of the universe. Now we're going to hear, why can't you go faster than light? Just a little bit. Listen.
I hope to teach you why it is impossible to go faster than the speed of light.
There you go. Just that. I'm not going to play the rest. He's going to teach us why it is impossible to go faster than the speed of light. I'm going to close this one. And the same gentleman is going to tell us how to travel faster than light. Listen.
You don't have to be much of a science enthusiast to have heard that you can't go faster than light. Well, I'm going to tell you at least one way that two real, honest-to-God objects that exist in our universe can move away from one another faster than the speed of light.
That's right. Why you can't go faster than the speed of light, unless you go this way. And you might think, maybe two objects going at just under the speed of light, moving away from each other. would the sum total would be more than speed. No, that's not what they're referring to. Don't be silly. That would mean direction. Nope, forget directions. No direction in space. Gaslighting, folks. Now, I'm going to play this video, but before I do, I'm going to pop into the chat. Just bear with the black screen for a moment. 81 people viewing. Wonderful. Human sheeple. Nice to see you. Earth is seriously flat. Rank you. Vincent, Multi, Tom, Flat Earth Bear, George, Kasulis. I hope I said that properly. Ellen Mentor. Mark Collard, West Coast Wisdom, hello. B. Murray Level Earth, and everybody else. Orbs Realm, Dave Hinkle, everybody else. David Banner, everyone, greetings. I hope you're enjoying the. Oh, I see somebody without a wrench. You can have a wrench. Oh dear. Hey, there's somebody called Jesse James. I just gave you a wrench. Jesse James in the chat wrote, Flat Earthers think we are the center of the universe. I don't know when you wrote that, and I don't know if you were just here writing in the chat without listening to a cosmologist of the globe tendency explaining exactly how the Earth is the center of the universe and everywhere else is the center of the universe. That's right. So Jesse James, when you say Flat Earthers think we are the center of the universe, if you said that in a cosmology lecture, the professor might tell you to sit down and stop being so stupid, because he was about to say that the Earth is in the center of the universe. I know, it's funny. Now, what I'm going to do, Human Shipple, what is up, Mark Collard, Book of the Sun, sorry. I have a cold, you'll have to excuse me coughing from time to time. Right, next. Hi, we're going to, let's see, should I show the video first? Yes, I'm going to play this video. It's by Bobby Shafto, a fraud. See, a fraud would be somebody who does something deceitful on purpose, so with a reason, intentionally, in order to gain something. In the worldview of the globe link, whatever it is that they say that supports the globe, that's fine, as long as it supports the globe. It doesn't matter if it's false, it doesn't matter if it's Wes Wally saying, look, if it's a highly polished car, obviously you're not going to see that it's red, things like that. So, I'm going to play this video, and then earlier today I took some images from Yahoo Images, just infinity pools, and process them, just place some lines like he's going to do in this video, and well, we're going to look at those too. But first, let's watch his splendid video. He still hasn't figured out center of the frame and eye level. He hasn't figured out center of the frame. That thing that Luz Divina, the Brazilian professional photographer, explained ad nauseum to Bobby Shafto and other dim globelinks. He didn't get it. He hasn't got it. And we'll see that he hasn't got it because he claims it. And, oh, wait. Before we play, everybody who's at home and watching this on a screen that's bigger than your phone, please grab yourself, please grab a piece of paper or a ruler or even a shoelace or a piece of string so that you can measure quickly on the screen, okay? You'll want it, and I will freeze frame and I will discuss and explain. Here we go. Oh, lovely. Quick question. Why are infinity pools called infinity pools? Could it be because if the sides are parallel, they point to convergence at the horizon, just like on perspective drawings, just like on the kind of drawings that architects are very good at drawing. Could it be that? No, it must be pools that point to the sky, just the sky. No, forget convergence, forget infinity point. Okay, so you have convergence, infinity point, and perspective. Forget the infinity point. No, forget that. No. Referring to something else. Okay, let's see. Oh, very good. Now, first, he needn't have added the top lines. Okay, lots of pools don't have a sheltered portion, but it's interesting that he did. The yellow lines. Let's zoom in a little bit. Been a little bit careless on how he's placed those lines, but never mind. We'll say okay. So watch. This is just gold. So this is where you might want a ruler, okay? Is placed a horizontal line where those lines meet. If he didn't have the two yellow lines at the top of the screen, he would have just met the point of the yellow lines. Great, that's totally fair enough. And obviously, that's not the horizon. That's just pointing some distance away from the ground. You know, if that grey patch is the horizon of the curved globe. Okay, and then he's dropped that red line. Let me just resize the screen so you can do it properly, so you can see the entirety of his screen. Okay, there. Let me make sure that I'm displaying properly on the feed out. Yes, okay, you have the entirety of the screen. Great. With this, you can check to see whether that red dotted line is the center of the frame. Just for a laugh. Let's carry on playing. Camera level. That's right, because it's meaningless. You know, to these people, things having real meanings, well, you can just say they've got a different meaning. Like camera level, wherever the camera's pointing, that's camera level. It's like, no, that's wherever the camera's pointing. Camera level would be the camera pointing 90 degrees from the vertical. That would be camera level. The center of the frame would be, well, the horizon, usually, but go ahead and measure. While you're doing that,